welcome back to another exciting episode of the Indie Credible Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Xander Scullion, and joined with me is Jeffrey Woodenhagen. What's up, Jeff?
Oh, what's up? It's been a crazy morning because we were supposed to record earlier, and my wife's like, "Hey, we got to go do some stuff." And it has been a morning.
Hey, yeah, it turned into, you said you did some yard sales. Did you get anything cool?
Yeah, so like the whole entire Arnie base did a yard sale, and so we were just like driving around, and we're about to move, so like everybody else is about to move, and yeah, we got a lot of crazy stuff. But the stuff that I went around trying to find nothing. But one of my neighbors had two snowboards, and I'm about to move to like Denver, Colorado.
Oh,
And when I say snowboards, I don't mean like some crappy ones. Like they're like top of the line ones, and it was like $10 a pop. Like I'm saying like fancy ass, like really good quality ones. And I'm like, okay, I'll get them, and I'll probably sell them when I leave Colorado myself.
that's
But
cool.
yeah, dude. But it's outside of like, the yard sales, went to Dave and Buster's, ate food, and played very any games because my daughter wasn't interested. But yeah, my dog was getting groomed, so we went and did Adventure Time and nothing at GameStop again. I went and checked, like it's wild. But I do have a little bit of indie trivia for you, and then we'll jump into what projects I've had going over the week. But indie trivia. So I did two indie games for Pixels this week. So let's see if Xander knows the game, and those that see the video will be able to play along. Those that were audio obviously won't be able to play along. So here's the first one, Xander. Let's see if you know what
Okay.
game this is from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So these are not Nintendo games. These are indie modern games. And so just for those that are listening as Xander's looking, it is a pixel character doing a upward swipe with a sword. Trying not to spoil it.
Is it from like the Bloodstain, like Curse of the Moon?
It is Bloodstained Curse of the Moon Zengetsu. There we go. So yeah, this pixel though is super crazy. Like it is thin, but it is detailed as shit. I thought this is a cool ass one to make. These are like little mini guys, but this my hand is behind it. There's little mini pixel guys. These are things that I did. This is made of wood though, hand painted. And so the other one, I hopefully you know what this game is, Xander, and it's just showing you that you're number one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's the nerd.
So AVGN, either one or two, giving the middle finger, saying he's number one. But yeah, these are two that I did over the weekend. Last week, or actually, I did this one last weekend. Did the nerd last week. I did Bloodstained yesterday. Actually, just messing around, just in there painting them. These are like multiple colors though. I think there's about 6 or 7 colors in Bloodstained. There's like maybe eight colors in the nerd. Like, cause it's blended.
Yeah.
Good stuff though. Trying out in different compositions, different styles, different wood pieces. But yeah, that's stuff when you hunt me down at conventions, you'll be able to come across. They might be with me, they might not. As well as those that support the Patreon at the producer or above get free treats. And I know we did the Indie Credible coaster
Oh,
last.
are you talking about this? Because I have one taken down.
Incredible coaster. Yeah, that was literally. And just so you know, like for the listeners, like obviously the Patreon's free, but the quarterly item. So if you like support for 3 months or so, I shipped it out, and because I was shipping out the Genesis book, I threw the treats in there for those that got the book, and I put in one package the Incredible podcast. I was like, hey, this is for the producer tier. A lot of them were executive producers, which they also get the executive producer item. So if you get a big item, you get all the small things under it as well. And so I put in a bunch of other stuff. But there's stuff that I had that were like Contra, giant wooden pieces and stuff that I'm just not going to use. So they got bonus. And I put in the thing, these are bonus treats. This is not part of the tier. It's just because you're a Patreon supporter, you get bonus stuff. But something else that I have been working on this week, I don't know if you've been following the Kickstarter for the complete SNES, but it is over 400% funded now. It has crushed 2 stretch goals and is about to crush the 3rd stretch goal, which is crazy to me.
Oh, wow.
So this, my friends, is the dust sleeve for the complete SNES. It's a 630-page Super Nintendo collector's book released many years ago. This is actually to support the artist Sarumaru, which in the dust sleeve, it's in the back doing a bio of Sarumaru to support him, and as well as his upcoming Kickstarter and him as an artist. And we only did 100 of these, so there's only 100 of these dust sleeves. I offer copies to buy with the book in case you don't have the book, the definitive, as well as you could buy a la carte if you already have the book, because I'm not looking to like have people double dip if they don't want to, but if you want to get the copy. But there's only 100 dust sleeves, not like dust sleeves with books and 100 dust sleeves. No, it's 100 dust sleeves. I had a lot of people asking questions. How is this different than the definitive? And the answer is it's not. The definitive is literally, this is a dust sleeve. Definitive is literally in there.
Yeah.
So this is created special custom fit for the definitive, just a fun limited item to support everything that's going on, the actual artist. And the artist had Mario had a custom art piece that he would commission, custom one that's sold out. I think at the time of this recording, there's at least 1 digital, maybe 2 digital tiers left for him. And then I had about 4 of this size tier, like the smaller tier, as well as 1 or 2 larger tiers for like a big piece, But I only had one. I only had 1 left at the time of this recording. So like I'm almost sold out on all my commissioned art as well. So the campaign's crazy, man. It has been awesome. Man, it's great. And like the thing is the extra money from this will help me with like storage costs and stuff. That's all it does. I never make money on Egan's Alley. It's always a fun side hustle, and then I get to make more stuff, so I can buy more wood to make more custom art. And most of it I make for myself, but people think it's cool, so I offer it up. And speaking of custom art, I did another thing that I was showing to the artist that I showed you. I'm not painting this because I'm not insane, but I did a wooden piece of the art. So this is the art that's right here. But it is custom etched. So all the details there in the wood, all grained in there. And it's 3D as well. It's like a little 3D tactile. Now, I am not talented enough to paint all the details. As you can see, look at the colors on this. Like this is wild. Like Sario's a master artist. I can do some pixels. That's like, to me, I can handle that. No problem. But this right here, I am not talented enough yet to paint. But this is something that I may offer to Patreon backers, supporters later, because I think something like this is pretty dope, and obviously custom cut too. That's
really cool.
It's pretty big. So like, but the nerd fits like right on it. Yeah, pretty cool though. But yeah, it's just I'm always tinkering around and messing around, and I have another idea for a book series that I've been tooling around with as well, which would be like my 5th book that I'd be working on concurrently, which is crazy. But it'll be something that I'll be working with the Patreons as it develops, which I think will be fun. So that'll be more to follow on that, and it'll be a Patreon exclusive for sure. Like as I'm developing, obviously to be sold and everybody can buy it and all that. But it'll be something I'll be developing with the Patrons, and not just the paid ones. It'll be the people that are part of the free tier that just follow will be able to participate as well. So it'll be pretty dope. But yeah, that's what I got going on, man. Crazy shit, writing papers for class as well, and drinking tequila. So, what you been up to, man?
I mean, nothing much. I mean, I've been playing some games, but I've been playing some games. I don't have it with me. I was going to show it on the show, but I have the Pocket Edition, the definitive Super Nintendo Pocket Edition. I have that. It's in the other room. It's in the other room.
Didn't even bring it.
But I will say something I've been doing with the Pocket Edition since you sent me a copy was I've been going through like because I don't really collect that much anymore, and this is for people who don't really collect, but it's still you can find some purpose with the definitive guide. Is what I've been doing is I've been going through like my Raspberry Pi and hitting like randomize, playing the game, and then at the bottom where you can kind of click, I've been like putting in like if I, of course I didn't beat it, but if I would beat it, what I would score it, stuff like that. And that's what I want to do. I want to fill the book up because every Super Nintendo release, um, with my own like opinion using that book with the emulation. That's my little goal right now. It's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, no, the Pocket Guide has those little play, beat, and rate.
Yeah, the
Where it
word
has the
piece.
Yeah, the original was just collectors because it was written before I started doing that. So it was just if you have the cart box manual. But like I started adding the personal, like playing in your own ratings and stuff, just so you can further personalize the books because it's a fun thing to do and it just gives another avenue and depth for the books themselves. Outside of just like a cool visual aid, because I mean, if you want to look at the games, I mean, it's your phone is a fingertip away, but like that gives it now it's your pocket guide, Xander's pocket guide, essentially. It's a cool thing. Yeah, it's awesome. And those books are, $20 max. Sometimes they're like they're on a sale during like Black Friday and stuff too. So be on the lookout for that. But like it's a cool item. And we showed it off last week, but the pocket guide Genesis is a little bit bigger, but same deal. Like that's the way to kind of capture your own cool stuff.
Yeah, it's like your own like little history book. Like that's what I was looking at it as, because like I said, I don't really collect that much anymore, but I mean, I still love my retro games. I love Super Nintendo, so it's really cool.
Exactly. And I mean, I love pixel art games, like really.
Yeah.
So for me, like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Turbo Graphics is the one I'm working on next. But also, like, I still want to do like a Master System book. I want to do Game Boy Color, Game Boy, like all the pixel stuff. Because I'll have people wanted me to do a PlayStation and a 64 book. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. I mean, I will. I won't say no. But like, I'm more interested in covering and finding new games in that I haven't played in like the Master System or the Turbo, where it's like, okay, what's this weird Japanese platform that I'd never heard of? Holy shit, this is pretty cool. Like,
Exactly.
that was my entire experience with the Genesis complete, the definitive, is like going through those super Fammies that are in there and going nuts with it and just having a good time. Yeah, dude, it's a wild thing, man. So you said you play some games. What video Legos have you played?
I played this game. It's called Biz. Yeah, it's like B, three Z's and a T. And it's this is one of those games that you want to keep playing. There's like one more game. It's kind of like your Celeste or your Meat Boy sort of game.
Oh, Homicide.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's single board. You're playing as this little robot. Playing as this little robot. You're trying to get it from point A to point B. What's really cool is you don't really have any way to combat in the game, but like there'll be times where there's like flying monsters going after you or robots, and you have to like hop on like these little buttons that like project, cannons and lasers and stuff. So that adds a little bit more complexity to it. So it's a cool game. I'm digging it.
Yeah, it's like because you're saying bzzzt, it's like a little robot, looks like a little plug or something, like a little like power robot. Yeah. Um Weirdly is that I had beta tested that an early version because they had sent it to us to potentially publish physically years ago. And I was not against it. I thought it was pretty damn cool. My thing is though, is that when I was, part of the physical preservation society that was premium edition games, we didn't want to sign a game unless it was finished because we didn't know, if it would be like complete, because we wanted it to be as complete of an experience as possible. And so like we're like, well, once you finish it, send it back over to us and we'll test it. Like, because some companies will sign a game sight unseen, like, or just like, I like your idea, I'll sign it physically. But like we supported some Kickstarters, but like I always wanted the finalized game because, for example, if Questmaster would have been on my plate to publish physically, I would have been like, okay, so you're continually updating this thing. 100% would love to sign it. Might even do a contract. However, wouldn't even publicize it, wouldn't even announce it if I was doing a company until you're like done with it. Because once you talk about it, like it's like, all right, it's out there now. Now people want it.
Yeah.
And it takes 6 to 8 months once you actually start the publishing process. So, but so like for me, Buzzed was a really cool start. But did it feel like a finished game? Like when you played it and everything felt awesome.
Yeah, everything seemed really good. It was I got it for like a stupid cheap deal. I got it for like $4 or something on Steam. It was on sale, and I've been downloading a couple of demos and stuff. I'm gonna cover for some future episodes, and you sent me some links to some games as well. I've downloaded those.
I forget to send you those links. I mean,
It's all good.
because I follow like thousands of games on my wish lists. So every day there's multiple popping up. I forget to forward them over to you a lot, but like last week I was like, oh shit, and these are cool. So you're like, cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's the interesting thing though. So that is what you mentioned though is another thing to think about. So if you are an indie game and um you want to be enticing to a physical publisher, you might not, and this goes into a conversation that has to happen. You have to make sure that your game is value added because I have to charge about $40 on an indie title to break even. Like you can charge cheaper if the sales are like auto sellout. But if you got a game that I'm like an indie game that's going to be an awesome game, but a slow roll, something that people got to find out about to play to market. Because I mean, a lot of the games we're covering here are awesome, but like it may not be an auto sellout. It's not like Balatro or Vampire Survivors that are going to sell out like immediately. But like $40 is about it because you're going to sell about half of it, and then you got to go to conventions. You got to have people play it and love it and then buy it. So it takes a while. So, but if you say that, and then your game is $4, I'm gonna say, oh, that game's awesome. I played it at the convention. It's great. I'm gonna go buy it on my deck for $4 instead of $40 for the physical. That's
Yeah.
10 times as much, man. So you think about it, like the games that we're talking about, indie games in or on the horizon, some of those are $10, $20 games. That is likely a good idea, not because we're gonna buy it immediately as budget gamers, but that you will be still advantageous for a limited run games to publish it physically. And so that's something to think about as we talk about these indie games as we start to go. And why I was saying there's a conversation that has to be had is I was talking Switch 1, Switch 2 is like $80 per game. And it's not $80 because they got to charge $80. The rumor has it, it's not confirmed because I don't see or have access to the developer portal, that the 64 gigabyte cartridge, the highest priced cartridge for the Switch, is the standard for Switch 2, which means that it costs not like $8 a cartridge. It costs like 12 to 15 to $20 a cartridge.
Wow.
That's just the cartridge without any shipping it here or any like, and you're talking, and I don't know what the minimums are. So if the minimums are still 5,000, 20 times 5,000 is 100 grand just for some cartridges. And it's still 5,000. I don't know what the minimums are, all that stuff. No, the third party publisher portal is not open for Switch 2 from what I'm tracking at the time of this recording either. But so it's all conjecture. But if you think about it, indie games may not be sustainable physically on Nintendo Switch because if you have a badass pixel game and it's 100 kilobytes, 500 kilobytes, a megabyte, or 500 megabytes even. Like kilobytes is tiny, but 500 megabytes, say, not a gig, and the lowest cartridge is 64 gigabytes. Like it's a waste, and so because the smallest one on Switch was like a gig, so you got gig cartridges, and that could happen. I had to publish some that were larger on with premium, and that's why the game was $10 more. And then people complain because it was $50 instead of 40, and I'm like, yeah, well, as an indie publisher, like the game cartridge cost more, and it went up incrementally every single increase in size from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8. to 16, and 64 is insane.
I wonder if this is like Nintendo's way of like kind of just pushing just more digital, it's just going to be too expensive to do physical,
I
for
don't
a
know
lot of
if
people.
I don't know if they're pushing it, but I just think that they're like, well, if you want to do it, it's going to cost this much. Like it's just going to be how it is. Um, the other thing is, there was that crazy ass limited run games video that was posted on in the community. It's going around.
Yeah.
Obviously, this episode's coming out weeks after it came out, but at the time of this recording, it's like it just came out. It's the second video by this dude who's talking. Now, I will talk about like if half of that is true. That would suck to work there. It would suck to work a limited run because it's like toxic workplace. We call it in the army is counterproductive leadership. And I mean, literally, they have training to avoid that consistently. But I have a couple stories, and I'll talk about it here at the Indie Credible. I mean, I know some of y'all that listen to us. You're with us. You're here with us. But on the other side, there's a few non-negotiables in that video that if they happened, that company should be shut down. Number one is charity fraud. If they were saying that they're donating stuff to charity and they don't do it, no go. And like for example, Joshua Schwartz, who owns Premium now, was running Gamers for Kids charity with his Gamers for Gamers thing, not Premium. Not Premium is not doing this, but with Gamers for Gamers, where if you donated a certain amount of money, it would go to set up game rooms for homeless shelters across the country. And a lot of them were closer to where he lived. Now, the thing is, he did it. He has pictures. He showed where he set up game rooms, and he has to go back and like refit them every once in a while and stuff when the people say that they're out of games. He'll put up like say he has like a bunch of consoles. He'll put up some Switch consoles for the kids in homeless shelters to play. Like he's done it. So and it wasn't like he's just giving money to a charity, which is what I think the limited run one was, but he actually was going and doing the charity work himself. And so like, but if this company is doing charity fraud, that's bad. The other stuff though, like let's be honest, brokers here. How much of the video did you watch, Xander?
I watched a good portion of it. I didn't get to the very end, but I watched a good amount of it.
Okay.
And it was stuff that I had heard within the community for years that people have been talking about that kind of surfaced
So
a
like
little bit.
So like number one is like if they overprinted games that they promised. I mean, can I forever hold a company to a something that they said online one time or whatever? Like, that doesn't bother me. And another thing is that I would rather if Xander didn't get a copy of this game, if they printed more so he can buy a copy, make your money, limited run. Like to me, I'm not a FOMO collector. I'm not buying something to potentially flip it and make money. I would support something because I think it's badass. I'll put it on my shelf to enjoy it or play it to enjoy it, playing video games, which is what we do on this podcast. But and then the other thing is like him holding high standards and making fun of people. He probably just thinks that he's having a good time and a lot of people didn't appreciate it. But they also didn't speak up because they were afraid, the fear of reprisal, afraid that they were going to get fired. So to me, it's like that right there is like, okay, just cool your jets on some of the stuff. Have a thicker skin to take criticisms. If people say, hey, bro, that's not cool. You can't say I'm an asshole for fucking up this packaging. Okay, that's not cool. Like, say, give me more constructive criticism.
Right.
Like I wouldn't flow well at the limited run games because I would just speak my mind. And I did speak my mind when I was the CEO of Premium, and we had super freaking high standards. So I was no nonsense with some stuff, and very bluntly would say, no, this standard needs to be right. There were still errors though. There were still errors. There was still shit where like I think one time the printer had published the Switch logo sideways. We're like, what the hell? But it wasn't something that a person did. I would say, hey, you need
happens.
you need to fix this. Nintendo approved it as this. You have to do it. Like it's just, but I don't stuff that doesn't keep me up at night. But the story I have, the fun story. So, number one is that one of the guys that was quoted said they moved from New Jersey to limited run. Uh, The guy who was the co-owner of Premium Edition Games lived in New Jersey and moved to limited run. The guy who burned every bridge to leave and go limited run. He definitely did. So hint, hint, probably that dude who was with Premium was probably the dude that's in that video. So if you watch that video, it's probably him. But so that's one fun thing. But when we first started Premium, this is the fun story. So we had like taken our first pre-orders, I'm gonna say in the fall, right? Probably around Halloween is when we started opening up Super Blood Hockey and Pigeon Death for Premium. But back in the spring, summer of 2020, that same dude wanted to do a call with a lot of his friends because we ran the Switch Mania Playcast, and he knew a bunch of game publishers, so physical publishers. So we had talked to physical publishers to say, we're going to be competitors. He didn't see it as that. He said, we're going to be making physical games. He thought it was cool. They saw it as, we're going to be competing versus them for the same games. They didn't understand what Xander and we understand 80,000 freaking indie games.
Like, it's enough for everyone.
But
we all am in, you know?
But we had a phone call with Doug from Limited Run Games when Doug was still with the company. And so at first, we're shooting the shit. And this dude, the other guy that's on the podcast, so I haven't said his name by design, but we're doing the phone call, and he was an influencer. So they're talking about that they had just, I don't know if it was like Night Trap or Shantae or a big ass game that they had just taken pre-orders for. They're like, yeah, we just made $5 million today. Bragging. And then as soon as the dude said, my guy said, hey, we're going to start publishing physical. Oh, there's no money in it.
Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing, because that video wasn't on Doug, and by omission, probably one of the sources in that video, right? But right out of the corner of the screen, Joshua Fairhurst pops in and starts going off, angry that we're going to be competitors. So I can confirm, at least from that part, that dude kills off, signs off, and gets rid of all competition, and probably brought the dude that started Premium with me over just to try to crush what Premium Edition Games is doing. Didn't work, but probably, yeah. So, but that part, 100% true. However, selling games to make money, and as a company, you need to make money to pay the employees and do all the things. If he's also the other side, though, if that guy, Joshua Fairhurst, is pocketing money, not doing tax, IRS fraud and all that, you don't do that. Like, no, that's bad, obviously. But I can confirm, though, the dude, like, the whole thing did a 180 of, like, we're cool to F you.
Wow.
And to the point where my co-founder of Premium was in freaking tears, and we had to do a damn come to Jesus moment to fix his sorrows because his buddies told him that they want nothing to do with him ever again. And I'm like, dude, it's business. Like,
yeah,
if they were your friends, they would support you. They're not your friends. Right?
Especially like we mentioned, there's tons of indie games. Like if your company doesn't get one game, there's like 5 other ones that you can push.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and they were worried because they were just at that point that we talked to them in 2020. They were just turning the threshold of signing the major IPs, and so because we said we're not in this, we said exactly that to them. I said that, I'm like, we're not even in the same ecosystem. You all are huge. Yeah. We're going to be tiny. We're going to do like a couple games a quarter at minimum. And he's like, oh, we've heard that before. People didn't whatever. The whole time I ran the company all the way to the end of 2023, we did that. But the question was, they're like, well, what if you're offered Contra or Castlevania? Are you going to take that over us? And I'm like, obviously we would talk to them. And this was before they announced those games.
Wow.
So, like, they were already in the works, probably traveling to Japan, doing all the stuff with Konami, and they didn't want us to just snipe them on these games, because it probably was possible. And I told that to, the co-founder. I'm like, we probably could contact Konami and snipe that shit from them, because they're literally playing their hand to us. It was funny, but I'm like, But my thing is that I wanted to pull out kind of like what we're doing with this podcast, pull out cool ass indie games that needed to get a life. And probably the coolest one that we published that everybody knows about, even the dude today at GameStop knew about Phoenotopia Awakening. Like that game for the Switch that we published, that game is like everybody knows about Phoenotopia Awakening from the underground. Those that play retro indie style games know Phoenotopia Awakening. To me, A World by Name Fight's probably the favorite one that I published because it's like Infinite Super Metroid, and I'm a Metroidvania freak. I love that game. But like Phoenotopia Awakening, I when I announced that at a convention with a direct, people were like in applause, like in tears and shit. Like it was wild at that stuff. Like that it was insane. And so that's like our bit like to me, those are the games that I wanted to publish. The crazy ass shit that's underground that when people play it, they're like, oh my God. And Premium has a ton of games signed, still coming out that are amazing. Hell, freaking Turbo Kid that they're releasing. Like I signed that before I transferred over to the company, and that game is awesome. Turbo Kid like is based off the indie movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's awesome. It's a badass game. That's the stuff. That's why I was doing it. And the thing is, though, the collector scene for the Switch One is slowed down and it's challenging. And you got if Limited Run is doing dirty stuff. I mean, number one is a companies do that,
Yeah.
but it's going to make it hard for other companies to survive too. More importantly, though, Xander, than all this shenanigans with physical publishing, because this stuff's cool because it is going to affect indie gaming. But I've really only been playing one game this last week, and it is a game. It came up on the randomizer. It's called Faeland. I don't know if you've actually played Faeland at all.
I haven't, but it looks really good.
Dude, it's crazy. I'm pretty sure it has a Switch physical. Pretty sure it does. But it was developed by Tail Games. Now the thing is I wrote in my notes, has an interesting intro. The reason why I said that is because I still haven't gotten out of the damn intro. Like I played it for like a good 15 to 30 minutes. Like you get introduced, there's stories with, angels and all this craziness. You create your character, you do your stuff, teaches you the basics. I'm still like naked sitting there. I can't even like attack yet. And I got to figure out where to go. And I went all around the map to the left, to the right, all the areas, died a bunch of times because I can't figure out where to go. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Like there's no like beacon on where to go. I'm searching. But it is like a Metroidvania style game of lots of progression, lots of little options to upgrade and things. And the graphics are pixel style, past 16-bit, just look amazing.
The graphic style, the art style made me think of like almost like a RPG, like Golden Axe Warrior kind of vibe, like Golden Axe. And man, I thought it looked really cool. I was looking on the Steam page and it says it's still in early access, which is
And
interesting.
the version I'm playing is also early access. This is the only game that this developer has listed. We always have to say on the podcast, has listed on Steam, because we can't say it's the only game they've ever done because, again, on Steam, it's the only one that has listed. It does have a release date of December 5th, though, of 2023. And so I don't think that they've pulled it out of the beta yet for full release. But I'm pretty sure it does have a physical, though, which is crazy.
It's interesting.
But like I could be wrong, and I could just have seen it on Switch like years ago. Because it's 2023. It's been a hot minute. It looks like they're doing it via chapters. So it says something about chapter 3 coming out April 25th of 2025, aka around the time of this recording, the third chapter. So maybe they're doing it like incrementally, kind of like Undertale, Deltarune has done chapters, which to me is a cool way to keep people engaged, to release a game, not taking 8 years like I do with books and stuff to release a game, but release it within a couple years and then release a new one, maybe tweak a few things that people have, wanted you to fix. The game itself, though, is cool as shit. I just want to get, some weapons and stuff because like the initial intro before you get it all taken away Metroid style is you get like a sword, you have a cool ass bow, you have to go like hunt a deer and all this stuff, and you do all that stuff and it's cool as hell. Like it's awesome. Like I like the vibe, I like the controls, I like everything. The nice little pacing to it. And then they get rid of all your stuff, you fall because you're getting chased, you fall and lose all your crap, and now I don't know where to go. I can't figure it out. So, I mean, I assume once I do, it's gonna be like light bulb, no shit. That's where you go, Jeff. Got it. But right now, I'm just running into dead ends so far.
That's always
Yeah,
that was a bummer. But you know what?
online.
It's not a. It's not a bummer.
What's not a bummer, Sanders?
On the horizon, because we always have
Holy
indie games to talk about, and this week on the horizon, we got some interesting titles you put in. One of them I'm really intrigued with.
Wait, hopefully it's the first one.
It's not. It's not the first one.
Ah,
It's not. But we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I just wanted to say that I'm very intrigued because I was like watching the video. I was watching the video, and I'm like, oh, I feel like Jeff can explain this better to me.
maybe not. So realize for those that are watching and listening, like I find these on the horizons. I look at them, I give it a once over. I'm all right. This looks cool. Shit, add it to the list. The list goes on forever. The backlog is infinite, man. And so the ones I add. And then out of all the ones I added for the week, I pull a few out for us to shoot the shit about. There's even more. There was like 20 games this week. I pulled 5, maybe 6.
Wow.
There's even crazy. There's a whole nother side that doesn't come on the podcast. So there's one that I found. Did you know that, and this is weird as shit. Did you know I think it's the DS, the Nintendo DS, that there was a Barbie Three Musketeers game that's a Metroidvania.
What?
And apparently it's good. And nobody's talking about it. There's no videos covering this shit. And I looked at it and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm looking at it and I read like some comments and I'm like, this is an hidden gem licensed game that's done. And I'm like, it's a Barbie game. And there's like 4 or 5 Barbie games on, and they're all shit.
I don't want to. The person I need to ask about this is James from Excess Gaming, my co-host, because
Yeah.
he likes the Barbie games. He's like, dude, the Barbie games are actually not that bad. And he probably has it.
It's probably this one that he's talking about. I have not played it. I just put it in my work because I have like a working games notes, and I have look up this Barbie game and put it on. I'm gonna put it on one of my emulator devices, maybe something like the Odroid here that I can put the DS like this and play it.
Yeah, perfect.
And I'll see if it's good. If it's the 3DS, it's not gonna work on the Odroid. But yeah, like I saw that and I'm like, what the? But so that kind of shit is in my list too. I'm insane though. Like I just, but like so these 5, technically 6 games that we're talking about this week, they're all like bangers that could potentially be cool. However, some of them we might play them like it was okay.
And we've had that happen before. We've had, where we've checked out some of the games that were on the horizon. We're like, episode blah, blah, blah. You remember we talked about this game? Well, I played it this week. And, like Odenfall. That's a good example. You played Odenfall and you were just like, oh, man.
Yeah, that the skill, the like glass ceiling, the skill glass ceiling was a little too high for me.
Yeah.
To just jump in and suck me in. Now get good, can play it, and it might be fun as shit. Like it's again, like even when I get past Out on the Horizon, I play it. It's still like 15 to 30 minutes because working jobs and family and
it just might be one of those games you have to have a sit down and
like, you gotta have a time for it.
Yeah.
And so like even my current backlog I haven't touched this week. Like because remember I did a backlog and then a current backlog. I haven't even touched the current like it's insane. But I do have like 2 due outs every week right now. So it's like the On the Horizon is the greatest thing ever. Infinite games for all the people. Have some more games, listeners. Have more games. And what are their first games at?
The first game looks really awesome.
The
DemonStar. Oh my god.
And this one released in 2023, December 11th. And hey, we did have a comment on our Indie Gaming Gems that said, "Hey guys, some of these games you're talking about were released years ago." And my response to your comments are, "No shit. We just found out about them, God. We just found out about it." And then they wanted me to rehearse some more and not use the first take. And I'm like, it would be podcast. But essentially the shareware legend DemonStar comes soaring back with new game modes and a revised gameplay. So this was originally published in 97 and was the shareware game of the year in 99. I have never heard of DemonStar. This is a vertically scrolling shoot 'em up. Like, looks cool as
Yeah,
shit.
I was.
This is called Original Missions.
Yeah, I was watching the trailer and I was like, at first I was like, oh, that's kind of slow. But then you realize like, yeah, it's slow, but you're going to be waltzing and doing a dance around so many bullets. It's a crazy bullet hell. But yeah, I always heard, I never dived into it, but I always heard about like the underground, like making your own shmup kind of thing that was because there was a game on the PSP I remember that you can make your own shmup levels and stuff, and that got really big back then. So it may be a part of that whole community. Really interesting.
Well, and so the interesting thing is like going down the zeitgeist of the rabbit hole. So Scott Host is the developer, and the reason why it popped up on my radar because you got to realize, well, why this 2023 game? How did I find out about it in 2025? It had an update. It just had an update, a 2.0 update, which is why it popped up. Now, let's go down the rabbit hole. What has Scott Host also done? He did a game called Raptor Call of the Shadows. And it is a guess what the release date of Raptor Call of the Shadows was? April 1st, 1994 on Steam. It says the release date is 94. Steam was not around. There was no internet. So, but it says the publisher is Apogee. So that's insane. But this is another shoot 'em up. This is a bullet hell style shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
Like Apogee, though, known for Duke Nukem, like your Wolfenstein 3D. So essentially, this game is created by a guy who also worked on another shoot 'em up called Raptor Call of the Shadows. He did the 2015 edition.
Oh,
So a 20-year update to it. You know, now that we're 30 years beyond that, by the way, because we're old. We old. But
yeah.
yeah, so this game, DemonStar, looks cool as shit. Again though, like there's not a whole lot to say about shoot 'em ups until you actually dig into like how the power-ups go and everything. But like
you gotta
slower.
play them. It looks
Looks
slower.
slower.
It looks slower, but probably when you actually start playing, it probably gets you in because it's all about getting in the Zen mode for me when I'm playing the shmups. Like I have to get in that like almost lethargic kind of just like zone out. And once I get to that, once I get to that moment, I'm playing a good shmup. And I'm curious about it. I need to check to see if there's a demo for it.
I don't see a demo on there, but my question for you is, are you one of those shoot 'em up gamers that goes into cheat mode when you
Oh
play
yeah.
and you have your screen that you can turn sideways in your gaming room? Are you that hardcore, Xander?
I've been wanting to get something like that for my monitor back here, but no,
Not yet.
yeah, but I actually do have like ways of like playing, like, cause like right now my laptop's on a stand that I can actually turn that way if I wanted to play
Okay.
to play some Truxton, that's how I'm going to play it.
So it says that Demon Star supports tape mode monitors.
Oh wow.
So you can turn it sideways for tape mode. Um, and then there's the original soundtrack by Bobby Prince, which don't know Bobby Prince, but that was the original soundtrack for Demon Star. And there's a new soundtrack by Pfeiffer Mouse, who is the new. So I mean, again, they're indie musicians that make game music, which is always so cool. I always like to throw out the indie names because you never know if we also talk about the same guy later. But it's the $10 game. So, and that is Demon Star Classic says it is a $10 game. So I'm not sure like like all the different names, classic, original missions, all this stuff. It's probably all just like they've rebranded a few times, but very positive reviews. So again, we keep on learning, Xander, about all these Amiga games, these PC games we've never heard of growing up, and we've grown up in gaming. And
Yeah.
again, so this 80,000 number that we threw out this year, like it's way crazier than we could ever have imagined. And I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
Now, this next game, Dive the Depths. This game looked pretty fun. It looked like is it a survivor like, or am I just like thinking too much into it?
Oh yeah, no, action roguelike for sure. And it's set beneath the ocean surface. This is like the screenshot looks like it is a Game Boy, but it is not a Game Boy style. It is super bright colors. The graphics look crazy. Oh, dude, it is crazy.
And then I think it goes with the kind of like aesthetic the game has, because it's like this underwater kind of world. So the water and the ocean around you is real dark and murky, and like everything that you're shooting and attacks has this like Batman Forever kind of fluorescent glow to it. I think that's really, really cool. It's a really cool style.
Well, and for me to add a survivor like, and I call Vampire Survivor style games survivor likes, not action roguelikes or none of that. I add them when they have a piece, a unique hook. And for this, the giant freaking bosses to me always draw me in, because like even the one that Premium signed back in the day, a Scarlet it was called. That game had like different boss fights. This one is giant boss fights. Like they're super crazy. And you keep diving each level down further into the depths. The unique weapons look cool, and it's not like a slow-paced underwater Mario level style, like making no, this game is freaking dope. And there's somebody playing it live right now, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I saw someone playing it live and I was getting B-roll. It seems to be pretty popular.
It's $10, 20% off right now at the time of this recording, and there's a free demo.
Ooh.
So, it's Star Pixel Studios is the publisher, but Frizu is the developer. Frizu. I don't know how to say Frizu, but Frizu has done multiple games. So this is an interesting one where the actual developer has done a lot of things. Did an After Death a game called Remnants of the Macabre, Macabre, but Macabre, Puzzle Dungeon, The Walls Stand Still, and Good Soup, and they're all under $10. All the games.
Oh wow.
After Death is apparently upcoming because there's no like After Death game, so it's just a free demo to play right now. So multiple games that this game developer Frizu. There's also a game called Ritual Chamber, which looks super high speed, as well as Silent Sonata, a tower defense RPG. So this developer has made a lot of games. Oh, actually, that is with Star Pixel Studios, not Frizu. Star Pixel Studios. Correction for the.
So it sounds like they just had their fingers in all the pies. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, let me just confirm. Yeah, so Frizu just forwards to Star Pixel with all the finger pies going on. All them pie fingers going on. There's Sacre. But as a roguelike, it looks cool as shit because of the giant boss battles, the beautiful graphics, and it's all pixel based.
Yeah.
So it just looks interesting, man. Looks interesting.
Now, speaking of interesting, this game is the game I was like, maybe Jeff can explain this to me a little better. Because it's a puzzle game. This is the PictoPix.
Yeah, PictoPix. Let me bring it up, because again, like if I don't bring it up, I don't remember adding them to. Because it's like it's just one of those where I add so many. But essentially, have you ever played the Logic Color Square Puzzler games, aka Picross? So the classic one is Mario's Picross on the original Game Boy. And it's released on everything. Mario's Picross is like one of my favorite things. And then Konami released a Picross game on owned. And so I played and beat that entire thing. Every time I would fly to a convention, I'd be playing Konami Picross, like while the plane's in flight. So essentially, what you do is you get numbers on the sides, and that number correlates to how many spots are filled in each position. And once you fill in all the numbers, it creates a picture, and it's super addictive and it's fun. And all the pictures are pixelated, so I love it. So you're creating pixels, and it's just super casual, super relaxing. And there's options for people to like play through. But it also has Steam Workshop and allows people to submit their own puzzles. And there's over
Ooh.
4,000 right now. 4,000.
Wow.
So this game looks insane, and it's like this is supposedly there's color grids too, and so like when I'm talking about it, it's like one color. There's also color grids where there's multiple colors and crazy shit. Like there's ways to complicate it. It says right here over 300 puzzles, 4 game modes. There's mosaics, endless challenges, and classics. Create your own puzzles, share them with other players via Steam Workshop. So there's 300 in the game, 4,000 from the community. And apparently there's hidden secrets and stuff. It's gotten lots and lots of accolades, and it was released in 2017. So the game is 8 years old.
And it doesn't have any signs of stopping. It sounds like it's got quite the community on it. That's awesome.
And that's why I think that's why it popped up though, is because it just hit that milestone of 4,000 puzzles. So it probably popped up and said, "Hey, this is a big deal," and then it pops up in the feed, and that's how it gets added to our list. And it is the only game that the developer Tom Lab Games has released.
Yeah.
You said how many bucks? $8?
Yeah,
Awesome.
$8. Not bad.
100%, 100% worth it, man. It's cool.
This game looked like a lot of fun. I like the French. Yeah, I like the French accent. That's what I. That's what
I left it because I only left it because I wanted to hear you pronounce it. That's why.
It's like Sacre Bleu, my. Oh, it's like.
No, you gotta say it right.
What is it? Sacre Bleu. It's like.
Nope.
Sacre Bleu. The Sacre Bleu. Yeah.
There we go. Like, yeah, but it's a fast-paced, bullet time action platformer with speed running and revolutionary flair. So it's like a hack and slash style game with fast-paced bullet time. Like, game looks insane.
It's almost it's fast paced, almost like Pizza Tower. That's what kind of made me think of, like Pizza Tower with hack and slash elements. Like it looked really cool, really really cool.
Yeah, it's insane looking though. Like the graphics, there's like giant little enemies that chase you around, and it's just a wild looking game. There's every time that there's somebody streaming it right now too, because it's a newer released game. But like every time that happens, I can't even view the screenshots because it's so popular. And it looks like Noodle Cake Games is who it forwards to in there. And Noodle Cake Games has a lot of games in here.
Oh, a lot of stuff.
Dude, Slash Quest looks cool. Jetstream looks cool. Sacre Bleu is in there.
Yeah,
a lot of them are very small games, but then there's giant games like Soundfall, which looks like a crazy music-based play.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, it looks really good.
It's expensive, but let's talk about Sacre Bleu. Puke on your Sacre.
Yeah, it's like I said, it looks like a very fast paced, it does say, on the Steam page, it's like they gave me Pizza Tower. And it's like because you play Pizza Tower, you might really like this game.
Yeah. I mean, and now there's gigantic bosses as you're playing through, which to me is cool, like different ways to play. You're obviously going in a French setting in this. But there's like different types of modifiers that you get to apply to your characters you play through that change how the game plays. So to me, if you're like streaming this game on a live stream and then you just start playing with all the random modifiers, make crazy shit happen because there's screens going, craziness, everything all flying around. Like it just looks like a fun ass game to play.
Yeah, it's got a really interesting target system that made me think of another indie game that I really enjoyed, and that was the game called Bleed. They made
Oh yeah, Blade is awesome.
Bleed One and Bleed Two. Uh, I get kind of like those kind of vibes the more I watch the video, especially the way you kind of control the targeting while you're like shooting. So you're not, it's not like Contra or like Metal Slug where you're just, you know, shooting and just hitting a button, but there's actually like a little bit of a target system. So
Yeah.
that's
But
pretty
I think
cool.
you also have a blade too, a blade attack
Yeah.
as well as the targeting system. So,
Mhm.
because like for me, it's like using the twin stick style in a platformer sometimes can be overwhelming, but having the option to also use a blade a la Castlevania
Yeah.
is cool. Because I like options. I like options for sure. So Sacre Bleu. Um, Again, though, in the middle, like upper 75% is what it's getting for all the different reviews. So, what is the next game?
This game looked
Crazy.
this game looked demented.
a Vindefiant, a disgruntled employee is fired from his job, sparking a path of rage and destruction. You lead them through their journey of vengeance and creatively kill enemies in this pixel art adventure where you are the villain.
Yeah.
Like,
You play as this dude that's like floating and he's like screaming and like you almost have like a symbiote kind of body where you like stretch
yeah,
your
like
arms and like grab people. It made me think of this one other game. Gosh, I cannot remember the name of it. Came out a couple of years ago that you played as like the alien.
I'll tell you what it's called if you can figure it out, Xander. I'll tell you after I
I
take
I,
this drink.
I feel like it starts with a C. That's all I can think of. But
It does.
yeah, it's like you're like this little life form bug thing and you start infecting other and getting bigger
It's
and
called Carry On.
that's it. That's what it made me
Nicely.
that's what it made me think of when I saw I was like, man, this is like made me think of the especially playing as like the villain, which I always like that. I
Well,
think that's really
and the
cool.
thing that's cool about this game, Vindefiant, is that like the graphics, it looks like cartoonish
Yeah.
in the thing. Then you look at the game like play, it's all pixel art. Even the character
Mhm.
doesn't have a face in it. But then you're off the ground, but the symbiote tentacles moving you around, and you're just like destroying people. Like
Yeah.
it just looks like it's a fun time. It looks like a fun time, and it's $15 game, not too bad. It was a finalist for the best indie game in 2024. Released though in 2025 of April. So
Mhm.
this they definitely have a cool vibe to it, and I think when you like kind of challenge the norms of gaming, you stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, and this goes into it. And there's been a few games this episode where the pricing's in that physical zeitgeist. For $15 game could still be considered a physical for Switch One prices, not Switch Two $1 million cartridges,
Yeah.
but like yeah. So I think that the pricing is solid. Hopefully the game's long, and it's a very positive review right now, like 90 percentile, which is really cool. So I
It
mean.
looks nuts.
Dude, it looks crazy. Like seeing, so like literally just looking down and seeing the video, and you hit a character, they're spinning in the air, and then another blade comes and slices them in half and explode into bloody guts. Like that's
Yeah.
the shit that happens in this game. Like this game is crazy. Like you're just destroying people, like taking guys and with like World of Goo where you have like physics based like tossing them. Like physics
Yeah.
hit them, they hit the wall
They
and
got
and
the all
fly.
they got like the ragdoll kind of feel.
Ragdoll physics,
Yeah.
exactly.
Good
Like that
stuff.
shit is crazy. Like to me, that stuff is really cool to play. And that developer has only done this one game,
Mm.
so it is their game. And there's one other game. It's in the pricing, and I wrote in there, is this an indie game? It has mixed reviews. It is hit or miss. It's a dark martial arts game with Chinese culture. And you get to it's a action adventure RPG style game with multiple endings. It's called Echoes of Yi Sen Samsara. It looks cool as shit.
Yeah, it was it really made me think of Black Myth Wukong, which I really enjoyed. It's got that
Yeah.
same kind of feel to it. And
It's this is like not pixel, it's 3D graphic,
yeah.
crazy. Look like Elden Ring style. I was like, is this indie? Because it looks so fucking good.
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, I want to check this game out." So, I
So the thing I've noticed is with these games that look like on the threshold of, double A, triple A games with this type of 3D graphics, on Steam, they seem to be way more critical
yeah,
than for a retro inspired. Because like those retro games we're talking about, they're on the same pricing. Like this game's like 15, $16, $17, whatever.
mhm.
Um, like they're like super positive about it. Whereas this one, everyone's like, it's like mixed reviews, but this game looks awesome. Like
Yeah.
I think they're expecting Elden Ring, but this is likely not. It's probably an indie game. It's probably an indie game, and like, cause like Run Meng is the actual developer. Guess what? Run Meng is made this game. It's the only game they've made. So likely an indie game developer, and but the game looks triple A.
It does.
And
It
so
looks really good.
So it's like, man, people are harsh out there. Like, I think this might be a game that we need to like try to play just to see this, just to like see, okay, so why is this? Are people just being like, are the people that are playing it just more, judgmental on a rating scheme than us that are just old people playing these retro games that seem cool as shit? Like, oh, there's another cool ass game. Like, maybe we're just like freaking rose-colored glasses chilling there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching it and I was like, man, it looks really good and it's like $16. Like a game that a game to me that looks like this, I pay $16 for it. Even if it's a mediocre game, I feel like it's okay.
Mhm.
That makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
I mean, so from the screenshots and the videos I'm seeing, there's a lot of Sekiro that I'm getting out of it.
yeah.
The one that was made by the Bloodstained people, but it was the samurai battles. That's what I'm getting out of it, and that to me makes it look cool as shit.
Yeah, I love Black Myth Wukong. So I same I mean it's funny because some of the screenshots like I was like that looks like a location and it probably is since it's like Chinese folklore from Black Myth Wukong. I was like that looks really familiar.
Oh.
But
One of the reviews literally says draw significant inspiration from Sekiro. Like literally says it in the review. Like, so I get it, man. Like, you're drawing inspiration. The game looks cool. It looks well done. Like, I
yeah.
wonder, like, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole today on the episode. Like, I wonder why people are up in arms about it. That makes me sad.
I had to check out some reviews or something.
Exactly. And also play some games, Xander. Um, I will do the randomizer real quick to see what pops up in my thing. I was actually messing around with Faeland earlier. And so like I was messing around with it again. So I'm gonna go through my thing, all my installed games. I'm gonna pick a randomizer game, and I'm going to play Arcogem. Archaeology. Archaeologen.
Oh, that's cool.
Archaeogen. So that is the game I'm gonna play. On here because I have the decky loader, it says that it'll take 3.5 hours to beat the whole game.
Oh
But
wow.
the fact that I can't say the name, even reading it out loud, Arc AO Gem. Archeo Gem. That is the name of the game. But that is the game I'm going to play. Archeo Gem.
It has some really good music I hear in the background. It's like doo doo doo.
Yeah. And now that's assuming that that's what it pulled from YouTube.
Yeah.
Does because it's an auto. Because again, like that's the cool thing about the Steam Deck, though. Decky Loader allows you to add all these extra cool things to your games. Like you can change out custom art. You can do all the things just from your Steam Deck. So
I would just have it play the hard off theme the whole time.
hard off.
Just the hard off theme. I love that theme song.
Classics did. Yeah. So yeah, Archeo Jam will be the one I'm gonna play. This is gonna be a fun one. I don't even know what it is. It's great. I have 1,000 games on my Steam Deck installed, so it's like my Steam Deck I use just for retro style indies. I don't put the big ones on there. So
Yeah.
when I'm playing an Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster, which I have, that's on my other Lenovo Legion Go, and
Oh yeah.
that game, it's pretty fucking fun. I played it. It got blind dropped.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I remember people were talking about that it came out, and I'm like, oh, so when does it come out? They're like, it's out right now. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I installed it, and it's
Yeah.
cool. I mean, but it's Elder Scrolls. It's clunky as shit. It's not playing Elden Ring, brother. It is old school Elder Scrolls. But I'm having fun. Because I never played the Oblivion beyond like one sit down, but I played the shit out of Skyrim. I beat Skyrim. So I'm like, this is reminding me of Skyrim.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oblivion's great. I like the fact they kept a lot of the voice acting bloopers in as well. They didn't take them out. I'm like, hell yeah. Because
And it was
some good Easter eggs in there.
And I was talking about with my upcoming move, like, oh, I'm gonna probably play Grand Theft Auto 5 or something like that. I'm like, it's probably gonna be Oblivion now, because
Oblivion would be fun. It would be fun.
Because I did play some GTA 5 over the week too, but I played a couple missions. But that's probably what I do is just knock out a mission or two in GTA 5 every once in a while. Play more Oblivion. Fun. Having a good time, but Archaea Gem is what I'm going to try out for the podcast for the Indie Credibles, and hopefully, we get a few more of these Patreon executive producers, Xander.
Yes. Let's go ahead and lift off. Let's go ahead and lift off. Akaroth. Or did I say that right?
Akroloff, sure.
Akaroth.
And then you have David Isherwood.
You also have Lunchbox, aka the Disgruntled Gamer from the Thunderdome Gaming Society, which, by the way, I signed on to our Discord.
Oh my god! Senior was in the Discord, the free Discord,
and I signed on, and I saw he sent me a friend request. I accepted it, and I hadn't been back in. So, and we also need to also give a huge shout out to Jesse Glenn as well.
Yeah. And at the time of this recording, Jesse Glenn had a badass pickup. He got the original Nintendo Powers like this week. Because a lot of times, guys, you can, once you're on the Patreon, like, you can message us with whatever. Like Discord, I'm getting, Lunchbox is hitting me up, aka Discord Gamer, hits me up on Patreon. Jesse Glenn hits me up on Facebook, I think. But either way, like, we don't hide. Like, you don't want to chat with us. We will shoot the shit. Appreciate y'all.
Anyway, guys, as always, thank you for listening and support indie. Please support indie.
There are some more indie games, please. 30,000 is not enough.